Hey everybody, it's Norm from Tested here at Wonderfest 2026. Now I'm in a studio room filled with many replicas, but among them is an actual studio model. I'm here with Eric. Eric,
Norm,
such a pleasure.
It's a real pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure, and thank you so much for bringing this. You are a collector and a Star Trek fan. You're a pilot.
Yes.
And you have brought to Wonderfest something that the public hasn't seen for...
In 20 years.
Yes, at least.
Yes,
and this is a piece of the original Enterprise D filming model.
Correct.
As seen in the pilot.
In the pilot episode and several other episodes after that was reused because of its pretty unique nature, using it for the separation sequence from the saucer section.
Oh my goodness.
Great close-up model. Yeah.
Okay, so we know in the making of Star Trek Next Generation, they made several Enterprise models.
Yes.
A 4-footer, a 6-footer.
Yes.
This is a derivative of that 6-footer?
Of the
6-footer.
That's correct. And actually the archivist called it the Cobra head, but of course we use it as the dorsal for the connection between the primary saucer section and the secondary hull.
Star Trek fans know that Gene Roddenberry always wanted to have the saucer and the secondary hull separate, even for the original series. It was in the script.
Yes.
And so when they were developing Next Generation, it was a feature they wanted to show off. In Encounter
First
Farpoint.
episode.
That's right.
First episode.
That's right.
So I'm sure Gene specifically asked for something this size that he could put in to the show, and probably personally approved, the model and of course the detail on this is just amazing. Just incredible how much time and effort they put into this that probably wouldn't show up and didn't show up really on TV.
So the full 6-foot model, it did separate. They had to cast them and make them as separate parts, but did not have this surface detail.
Did not have the surface detail. Had the surface, but not the detail. Right.
And for that shot that we remember, where what I remember are the clamps. There were these clamps that raised up, and these are the clamps.
This is the actual clamp.
Wow, may I hold this?
Yes.
Okay, so these fit, and how many of these spots are here? How many clamps?
There's actually 14, but for the actual shot, they built 12. Obviously, they knew the camera angle that they were going to shoot from, so 12 fit the bill. And of course, they're all shaped and constructed to show a lot of detail, but in the actual sequence, they would all lower once the actual disconnect was made and become flush with the hull.
So there was some mechanism that these were all mounted to under...
I believe so. There must have been some kind of a table that was fashioned to replicate that. So it would be an even drop.
Right. Some type of assuming like a hydraulic lowering or something.
Exactly.
And so to illustrate that, you have a cross section. They had to build out just the sides. And that's it. It's just pieces of styrene painted, like
it's amazing because
pipes and
they had to make it so it was flush with the hull when it retracted. So you can see the curvature. It took a lot of effort. And
the blocks are numbered.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Well, the measurements, some are actually tooled steel. This particular one is tooled resin.
Wow. And so they're each unique. The detailing on each side, each cross section is different. And to have those alongside, so they would fit into very specific spots because of the curvature.
Yes, indeed. And of course, the paint on this is just amazing.
What's remarkable?
Look at the detail.
This was filmed. They reused shots a lot. In Next Generation, and I know they separated the saucer many times. That's both worlds, famously, and it's always a repeat of that same angle.
Correct.
But this looks like they maybe shot it a couple times and then it went back into storage because this looks pristine.
It went back into storage. Judy Penny was the curator, and it just didn't see the light of day since what, 87?
Let's look at some of the details here. Because I see where there would have been windows, and they would have that painted as windows or cut out for the full, down to the impulse engine.
And on the 6-foot model, of course, those would have been detailed. They would have been drilled out. You would have the light coming through. On this one, there was no shot from that angle, so didn't need to. But you can see that the paint. Aztec.
The Aztec right here. You can. I'm looking at the Aztec
pencil lines.
And the outline of the Aztec is stenciled and traced with pencil.
Fantastic.
Right here.
Yeah. And of course, as we were showing this week. Bill George was kind enough to share with us that the Death Star, some of the brass etchings were used as a template for the spray. So the details here in the front are just incredible as you look very closely at it. And if I shine the light on it, you can see.
I want to call that out because I see here, and here, and here, very lightly.
Very lightly.
There's almost
very subtle. Very
just
subtle.
for an off angle. Maybe it reveals the paint underneath.
Yeah.
But it kind of reminds me. It looks almost like a chip pattern or an Elcar's pattern.
Exactly.
But
and even though it couldn't, be shown on TV, I think there's that pride of creation, pride of originality that they put into this to show their expertise. And it's really quite a marvelous feature. And when it came up for auction in 2006, October 7th, it was my birthday. And of course, if you can't have the full 6-foot or 4-foot model, I'm perfectly happy with a 2-foot. And this was actually sequenced in between during the auction, 2 very high expensive items. So I think they might have gone on a coffee break when I bought this because it was substantially lower price, but quite happy. And of course, the paint scheme.
I mean, the paint is. I mean, the condition of the paint, condition of the markings is so remarkable.
Right.
Everything from the phaser banks to the shuttle bay. I know you have friends who do replicas. Wayne, who's created some wonderful replicas, and he was telling us like this allows him and other Star Trek shipbuilders to color match.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to touch on that. This color represents the actual color from 1987 with the original filming model prior to the creation of the feature films, where they stripped the paint off, repainted, and of course this is now the only surviving example of those of that paint. Of course, we're going to share these shades with the community. So
the green hue, it's not because of these lights, it's because there is more green and more blue in Enterprise D than the gray.
That's right. That's right. And it really pops with the different color variations on here. It's a beautiful model. It really is a great example of the model makers from '87 at the ILM when they created this and their choice of patterns. And it really highlights their expertise, which is unmatched.
Yeah, I mean, we had, and this is for TV too.
Yeah,
right.
For TV.
We were so lucky. We had a chance to see the large section of the Enterprise refit that was used, the battle damaged one, also made by ILM, and Bill George and the team there. And it's similar pencil lines. But
and of course the detail that were on these could easily be made for a theatrical release.
Yeah, it holds up.
It does.
It holds up.
It holds up.
Even though we're all watching Next Generation on CRTs at lower than high def resolutions. It was shot on film, of course.
Exactly.
Shot on film. The plays were shot on film.
Yes.
This is tremendous. Are you able to pick this up and
able
take
to
a
pick
look?
that up. Yes.
Look around it.
The support structure underneath was pretty substantial. And remember, this is an item that was planned to only be used once, but the care and detail of the fiberglass, the support, has lasted through the ages. This is the original container. And you'll note on the sides,
their photos.
The archivists have the photos of it in situ on their workbench. And again, I mentioned that there are 14 of the clamp holes, but only 12 that were created, and that's displayed in the photos themselves as well.
This is so lovely. Thank you so much for bringing it and sharing it with us, the fans, and also other model builders. It's incredible firsthand reference at something that survived.
Thank you.
So now I'm here with Wayne Minney of Motion Picture Miniatures. Wayne.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you. Welcome. I know you're a builder in the UK.
Yeah.
And from what I hear, you're like today's most foremost expert on the Enterprise D.
Well, maybe not in this building. There's a guy a little bit above me on the rungs, but I know a little bit about it.
You've built an amazing replica of it for museums, for display.
Yeah. I've built the 4-foot from all original parts, from Greg's original parts. Really lucky to get that chance because the D is my favorite. It's it's the one that I grew up with.
Same here, absolutely.
Yeah, that was a dream project. Yeah.
Well, with Eric's filming model, we got to see a painted hero casting of the D, of the secondary hull up to a certain point. But what you have here, this is from that same mold.
Yeah. So this is an original from the ILM mold. So this is an exact casting, not a particularly good casting. It's got some problems. It was done in a rush, and being 40 years old, it's got some damage. But this is from those same molds. Yeah. So
a 40-year-old casting, pulled probably in the same time.
Probably the same time period. Yeah. It's definitely not during the refurb era while they were making the Generations refurbishments, because I just don't think they would have had time to do that. This is definitely older than that.
So remind us, after they shot 7 years of Next Generation for the movie, they used the same 6-foot model but updated the paint?
They completely stripped it. It wasn't just the paint job. They took out all of the neons. They renewed all of the lighting system. Some of the physical features were changed. They even went to the extent of changing some of the window layouts. And speaking to John Goodson, he was the model shop supervisor at the time at ILM. I think that was just a problem-solving issue where they were having some issues with light transfer, getting good light in through all of the windows that were there, and they just decided, okay, we'll close those ones off. Like no one's on, the
they got movie money now. They can. It's a one last chance to revive the D before blowing it up. And they probably spent all the money there, and that's why they had to reuse the Bird of Prey shots.
They went to all of that extent to refurbish the model, and then you see it like 3 or 4 shots.
Well,
okay.
Well, tell us why you have this sign here. It's not an ugly ship, but this is related to something.
Well, it depends who you ask. This is a bit of an in-joke. When ILM were building this in the model shop back in '86, a certain fellow called Bill George wasn't a fan. He didn't love the design. He does now, but at the time, the thought was it's ugly, it's ungainly, the wrong shapes. He didn't like it. And there's quite a well-known photo of Sean Casey working on the secondary hull. And there's a disembodied hand holding this sign over the model like this. So, and that's Bill George's photo.
That's his finger.
That's his thumb in the photo.
Have you now matched it with his thumb here at the show?
Yeah, I brought it with, obviously I brought it in. When I saw him here yesterday, I said, no pressure, and he instantly picked it up, and so we've recreated the photo.
That's amazing. Seeing this casting, seeing the condition it's in, is the idea for you to turn this into another replica of the Enterprise D?
I would love that. It is something I would like to do. I've already got other parts.
What's survived and for your reference for your build?
So I've got. This is a casting of the nacelle. Again, this is an original casting from the original molds. This is something that's just huge. I mean, it's just a crazy piece. So obviously that would be molded, and then you'd make enough castings to make a pair of nacelles, and then I've got
underbelly.
the keel plate there again. So this is out of the original mold as well.
So all these panel lines, all the relief for the lifeboats, the windows, that's from the original molds. And that's what you'd be working off of for your reference.
And it was always believed that the 6-foot phasers, getting deep details. The 6-foot phasers, it was always believed that the surface was dead smooth, but that's not the case. There were very slight lines, And Bill George told me that there would just be groups of guys like in a quilting bee, and they would all huddle up together and spend a few hours all just with a knife. Just can you imagine like how many hours that would have taken? It's just crazy. And then you can't see it on screen. Just 1 or 2 layers of paint, it's all gone. The camera doesn't even see the detail, but it's all there.
You imagine it's like it's Mike Okuda and Rick Sternbach coming in saying, "This is how phaser banks work. You need to have the channels,
that's how to direct the energy and target where you need it." Wow. So, but this is very kindly lent to me by Gary Kerr, he's the Oracle. He is the Star Trek Oracle. Everybody knows him. So that's the hopes. That's my hopes. But even just seeing it in person, for me, it's just amazing.
I see some markings on here, both numbering And lettering down the decks.
So I think
was that part of the original?
No. So I think I don't know what Greg. This is a Greg Jein casting. So I don't know what Greg was. Why he was marking these out. Obviously, he was identifying them for some reason. Whether it's just for his own records to keep track of deck layouts and things like that, or whether he intended to do something different with it. Who knows? We'll never know at this point.
Yeah, this is incredible. It's 40 years since they were working in their model shop, building this for next generation. And to see both Eric's model come back to light and from Gary's collection and this come out, it's really a direct connection with Star Trek history.
It's the 60th anniversary of Trek, like, you know, got to go big.
Yeah.
Got to go big.
Wayne, thank you so much.
Thanks.
It's a pleasure and good luck on your build.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks a lot.